obviously I can't ship bikes around. So when it comes to giveaways and stuff like that, it's basically just going to be things like, you won if you can come get it. Well, I figured I'd get started on this video early this week. So, today's just kind of a bonus day. Don't got much light left. But I want to see if I can pull this red Huffy out of here. That's the one with the bad motor that still runs. So this motor, I pulled the jug on it. Not because there were any issues that I could see with the motor, but I wanted to try my hand at porting, and I just figured why not try it on a bike that I don't really ride. So it was the one that I built for my dad, and we used it on the rails to trails. She might need a little TLC, but I think for the most part she might fire right up. If anything, I'll probably just have to clean the carburetor and we'll be good to go. So I think I drained the gas on this one. Nope, no, sounds like there's still some in there. This bike should have been covered. It might have got rained on once or twice without a tarp. I'm hoping the float bowl's not full of water like it was on the street bike. We can just see if she starts. Got plenty of air in the tire. So like I said, the only issue that this bike has that I know of is the chrome lining. I believe that's what it is, but you can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. The chrome plating on the cylinder wall, I guess they call it the jug, is severely damaged. There's some pitting and some chipping about, I think, near the exhaust port. It looks like something hit it, like it shattered off, but you know, maybe it was a piston ring, maybe it was a burr on one of the ports. Honestly don't know. So it was running when we parked it, but I've got a pretty good feeling it's not going to run right now. Like every other time I park a bike, you got to pull the carburetor, clean it. It only takes 5 minutes. It's no big deal. And honestly, I enjoy doing that. My puppy trying to jump out the window. Back up. Back up. I will close that window. No, back. He's a really good dog, but he knows he hasn't gone for his ride yet this week. Every week I've been trying to take him for a ride. This will be 4 in a row. All right, let's see if she starts. Well, I wasn't expecting that. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna run this bike until it don't run no more. Tomorrow, I'm gonna go ahead and take it on a back road ride with the puppy. Those kind of trails and back roads, I think we can handle on a Cranbrook, no problem. There's no severe terrain. I don't really need a suspension to make that work. Okay, so before we get into our plans with the bike, please forgive me, I know it's getting dark out here. I'm gonna go over two things on this bike real quick that might be useful to some people. First off, on these cheap carburetors, you'll know them because they'll have this kind of a priming bulb. These suck. The glue that holds in this priming bulb, it softens up, it's not gas resistant, and this whole thing just pops out. If yours pops out, and it will, just go ahead and pull it out, clean it off real good, just take the carburetor off, clean this whole area off, get yourself some epoxy. I like to use it's quick steel or steel stick. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this in the camera, but I actually took this epoxy putty, which when it sets, it is really good stuff for a lot of things, and I just cover the hole. Not once in my memory have I ever had to use the priming bulb. If your float gets stuck and for some reason you're not getting gas, you can just tap on it with anything, a screwdriver, a key, a rock, and that quick steel stuff not only good for sealing up holes like that, it's just to keep stuff from falling into your carburetor, really. Yeah, it'll keep gas from leaking out too, but for the most part, it's to keep dirt and crap from falling down in that hole, clogging up your jet. Not only is that stuff good for that, it is literally holding the engine to this frame on my Magician. You guys remember my video on this terrible bike. That weld on top of the motor broke that holds it to the frame. That quick steel has been holding like a champ for a long time. I put it on once way back, and it was holding really good for a couple 100 miles. Then I wrecked my bike when I hit the dog, and that's what did it. But that tweaked a lot of stuff on the bike. So I chiseled off the old stuff, a hammer and a flathead screwdriver. You can chisel it right off, and then I put some new ones on, and it's been holding for like 800 miles. That stuff is awesome. Second, I was able to get this bike to work without a chain tensioner. Anyways, I guess one of the reasons why people really like this Cranbook frame is not just because it's cheap and it has a lot of room for a motor, but you can run it without a chain tensioner. Yes, these $90 Cranbooks, you can run without chain tensioner. It's super easy. Most of the time, this chain will end up being a little loose, which is not a big deal because you're not really doing off-roading, and most of the time you're also not pedaling, because you know pedaling these things sucks. So this allows you to move the wheel back and forth until the chain tension for the motor is where you want it. The issue that you'll probably run into, especially if you're a new builder, is that centering the rag joint on the frame of any bike, not just the Cranbook, but any bike, is difficult. It's hard to get this completely centered, so sometimes when you're riding, it's moving like this, and the chain gets tighter and looser and tighter and looser. So the only thing that's really holding you back from being able to run the Cranbook frames, words are hard, is just how well you can center the rag joint. And you just keep at it, try and center it. Don't work, do it again. You might have to do it half a dozen times, use tricks like putting some kind of a spacer in between the hub. If you can pull that off and get that rag joint just right, then you're good to run these without a tensioner, and they are just so much smoother and cleaner, and you have a peace of mind not worrying about the chain tensioner. I plan on doing videos every Friday. Okay, that's how this channel is going to go from now on, as long as it's within my power. So basically all the Friday videos have extra footage before and after that doesn't get put in, because as you know, my YouTube videos usually tend to be between 15 and 20 minutes. That's a little long for most YouTube channels, and that's cut way down. I believe I should be cutting it down further because I think some of it might carry on a little too long, but that's besides the point. The point is that there's a lot of extra footage which has some interesting information that pops up from time to time, or just entertainment. Maybe you watch the main channel and it's later in the week, it's been raining, your bike's broke down, and you just want more content. You guys have voiced that you enjoy my content, so I want to give you more of it. The Patreon page will go directly into supporting the channel. That's it. Everything that's put in the Patreon will go into making and improving the videos on the channel. It'll ensure that they keep coming out every Friday, and everything will be put back into the community. Basically, if we get enough support, my plan is to just review frames, motors, individual components on the channel, showcase them, and then give them away. So if anything is brought to the channel from the Patreon page, is going to be given back out into the community. There's a logistics thing I still have to figure out. Obviously, I can't ship bikes around. So when it comes to giveaways and stuff like that, it's basically just going to be things like, you won if you can come get it. I'm sorry, small stuff, I'm sure I can ship, but that's getting a little ahead of ourselves. At the moment, I'm in no financial situation to start giving stuff away. That's just the plan of the channel. Everything that's put into the Patreon will be put back into the community. Okay, so there are other perks which you can see on the Patreon page, little things, what I can do to help you guys out. Voting for next videos, video suggestions. Patrons will have priority over what comes next in the queue, and a few other things, which you can check out. Anyways, that's how it's going to go, guys. I'm going to keep putting out videos the same as I have, same quality, same durations. Nothing's going to change, okay? All my YouTube subscribers, if you can't support me, I get it, guys. Yeah, most of us are running these budget builds like me because that's what we can afford. And so we can't afford to be giving our money to YouTube channels. Totally cool. I get it. This is just for people who are in a situation where they have to have more content and they want to support the channel. There you go. Okay, but every Friday, as long as I can pump them out. Now that's not a guarantee, it's just that my goal is every Friday a video. Something new, something exciting, best I can do. And then additional content for those who are able to help the channel. I hope that's okay with you guys. Also, for my community posts I've been putting out, I've been getting a lot of activity on those. That's super cool, guys. Thanks especially for the votes. We had a vote on whether or not the channel should change its name to better reflect Motorized Bike Stuff, because that's the focus of the channel now. Pretty overwhelmingly, you guys have voted to keep LA Hover as the channel's name. So that's what we're gonna do. Anyways, this is your bonus video for the week. I will see you guys again on Friday. And thanks for all your support, whether it's a comment, a thumbs up, or if you consider the Patreon. Either way, if all you can do is a thumbs up, that's cool. That'll keep the channels coming, or that'll keep the videos coming. I'll see you guys in the next one.